Hi everyone, good to have you here on Ledger Life. This channel is all about bringing you updates from ICP. We are completely independent, which means we don't take sponsor money. Everything we do, from the research to the reporting to putting these videos together, is made possible by support from people like you. If you find value in what we share, please consider making a donation. You will find the details in the description below. Now, let's get into today's stories. We'll be talking about Dexter looking tokens and launching staking, a young researcher in Italy bringing AI into education, Juno's new tool that makes developers' lives easier, and funnAI's move into automated liquidity. Each of these has a slightly different angle, but together they say a lot about how projects are finding new ways to build trust, simplify things, and push innovation forward. Let's start with Dexter. Dexter has taken a very visible step to strengthen community trust. They have locked an additional 5 million BUILDR tokens through Streamflow using fees collected from creators. What makes this important isn't just the number of tokens, but the way it's been done. The lock is fully recorded on chain, which means anyone can look at the details like the amount, how long it's locked for, and who the recipients are. This kind of transparency is still rare in crypto, so it sets a strong tone for the project. Alongside that, Dexter has introduced a staking pool for BUILDR holders. At launch, the pool already held 10 million BUILDR, worth around $422 at current valuations. The staking options are flexible, ranging from 30 to 95 days, with annual yields that scale depending on how long you stake. For example, a 30-day stake offers a 20% annual yield, while a 90-day stake comes in at a massive 73%. Of course, the rewards pool isn't infinite. Once the rewards are used up, those yields will taper off. But the design clearly favors long-term engagement, encouraging people to stay in the ecosystem instead of chasing quick exits. There is also a link between this staking program and an upcoming airdrop scheduled for the first quarter of next year. That adds another incentive for token holders to commit, knowing that their participation now could translate into additional rewards down the line. Dexter has also promised to keep topping up the reward pool using future creator rewards, which signals ongoing support rather than a one off campaign. What I find interesting is how this combines two powerful ideas in crypto, like transparency through token locks and engagement through staking. By locking tokens on-chain, Dexter demonstrates accountability. By launching a staking pool with solid incentives, they are creating activity and loyalty within the community. It's a mix of responsibility and opportunity. And for users, it means you can actually check the data yourself rather than just take the project's word for it. Secondly, at the University of Pescara, PhD researcher Giulia is stepping into the spotlight with her app called Osvaldo. It's essentially a digital personal tutor designed to support university students, and she's presenting it at a major event, that is the European Researchers' Night. If you are not familiar, that's an annual event that takes place in hundreds of cities across Europe, bringing the public into direct contact with science and innovation through workshops and demonstrations. Julia's workshop called Career AI, Shape Your Ideas with Artificial Intelligence, it's a part of this wider celebration of research. She will be showing participants how AI can help take ideas from concept to something more concrete, offering both practical tips and insights from her own work. What makes this more than just an academic exercise is the context. She recently won the Caffeine AI Hackathon meetup in Pescara, which adds credibility to both her project and her approach. Osvaldo, the app itself reflects our growing interest in how AI can support education. It's designed to help students structure their study routines, track progress, and access tailored content. Rather than replacing human teaching, it's about supplementing the learning experience with personalization that traditional methods often can't provide. If it works as intended, it could take some of the stress out of managing complex university workloads. This isn't happening in isolation either. Local universities and research networks are backing the initiative, showing that there is institutional interest in making tools like Osvaldo accessible. And by putting it on stage at European Researchers' Night, Giulia is also contributing to the broader conversation about how AI can influence everyday life. It's a reminder that while DeFi projects and crypto protocols often get the attention, there is a parallel movement in academia where young researchers are exploring how AI can be applied to problems that affect millions of students. It's innovation from the ground up with a direct human impact. Speaking of innovation designed to make life easier, let's move over to developers where Juno has something new to share. If you have ever written scripts as a developer, you will know how repetitive setup can become. You are often reconfiguring environments, profiles, and other details before you can actually run what you have written. Juno's new feature called Juno Run is aimed at reducing that friction. With Juno Run, developers can now write scripts in JavaScript or TypeScript that automatically recognize the environment profile and configuration they are operating in. That means you don't have to keep repeating setup steps every time you want to execute something. Instead, you just run the script directly through Juno's command line interface, and it handles the rest. The team has framed this as a boost for productivity, particularly for developers managing multiple projects or working with complex configurations. Less time wasted on setup means more time focusing on the actual code. And in an environment where efficiency is often as important as innovation, that's a meaningful improvement. There is also a live demo scheduled for next Monday as part of Juno Live, which will give users a chance to see the feature in action and ask questions. If the demonstration goes smoothly, it could become a widely adopted tool for developers who want to streamline their workflows. What stands out here is Juno's consistent focus on making things easier rather than more complicated. In crypto and tech, we often hear about projects that promise the moon but make the user experience a nightmare. Features like Juno Run go in the opposite direction. They cut out the friction and make processes simpler. So that's one for developers to keep an eye on. And finally, let's look at what funnAI has been up to in DeFi. The funnAI treasury has rolled out automatic liquidity provisions for the funnAI ICP pool on ICPSwap. In practice, this means the protocol itself is now acting as a liquidity provider without relying on manual input. Every time ICP comes into the system and gets converted to funnAI, a portion is automatically added back into the pool. The aim here is straightforward: to boost liquidity and improve trading efficiency. By removing the need for manual liquidity management, funnAI is creating a system where slippage is reduced. The liquidity system isn't static. It's in effect, the protocol becomes a self-sustaining participant in its own market. Early testing has reportedly gone well with stable and reliable performance, which will be important if users are going to trust it at scale. If successful, this approach could serve as a model for how other protocols design automated mechanisms for liquidity management. It also highlights a growing trend in DeFi where automation that doesn't compromise transparency. Users can still see what's happening on chain, but they don't have to worry about whether liquidity will be available, where the protocol itself ensures it. So, four very different stories, but all linked by a common theme: creating systems that people can trust and use more effectively. Dexter is combining transparency and engagement with token locks and staking. Julia is showing how AI can transform education in a tangible way. Juno is cutting down on developer busy work with Juno Run. And funnAI is pushing DeFi towards more automated, self sustaining models of liquidity. That's it for this update. If you would like to support us, check the description for donation details. You will also find all the project links in the description if you would like to explore more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.